When the alarm goes off and you open your eyes, there's a moment, just a second, where your mind tries to talk you out of becoming the person you know you're meant to be. That tiny hesitation, that "I don't feel like it," is not laziness. It's a sign that somewhere deep inside, you stop valuing your own potential. And that's the hardest question to face. If I truly care about myself, why wouldn't I fight for my own growth? Most people never ask themselves that. They blame the job, blame the morning, blame the world. But the truth is, the purpose of life isn't comfort. It's progress. It's waking up each day determined to build a stronger version of yourself mentally and physically. Some people irritate me not because they're struggling, but because they talk about wanting to change while refusing to pay the price. Meanwhile, I'm out there with torn up knees and stiff joints, still putting in miles. And not slow, lazy miles, miles up mountains in the cold and the dark, with pain breathing down my neck. While others spend 65 hours complaining or scrolling on their phones, I'm stacking 65 hours of discipline, pain, and purpose. Not because I enjoy it, because I refuse to be the same person I was yesterday. If you truly want greatness, you must accept one thing. You will be misunderstood. You'll be called obsessed. Too intense. Too focused. But the people saying that are the ones who never left their comfort zone. Greatness demands sacrifice. You gotta wake up and do the things you hate. You must put yourself in situations that stretch you, break you, rebuild you. Pain is the doorway. Discomfort is a teacher. The truth is heavy, but it's the only thing that can change you. I became successful the moment I stopped running from the truth and started chasing it. Even when it hurt, especially when it hurt. It stripped away the weak parts of me and forced me to grow into someone capable of facing life head-on. I trained most of my life alone. No cheering crowd. No partner pushing me. I learned how to ignite my own fire, how to take myself into a place of absolute focus and raw determination. That's why people come to me for motivation. They see the intensity one built from solitude. Everyone thinks about quitting when things get hard. Pain makes the mind panic. It shuts down logic. It screams, "Stop, save yourself." But that voice is lying. That voice has stolen more dreams than failure ever has. What gets you through the darkest moments is your internal resume. The memories of every time you push through, every time you finish something you didn't think you could. Those moments become fuel. They whisper, "You've done this before. Keep going." I wasn't born talented. I didn't have natural gifts. I came from fear, from bullying, from abuse, from a childhood that tried to break me. I knew the work required to succeed was going to be brutal. I ran from it at first, avoided it, but the guilt and the fear of staying the same haunted me more than the pain of change. In those moments of suffering, shin splints, bleeding feet, stress fractures, I asked myself, who else would still be going right now? And the answer was always the same. You. Only you. I built Goggins because David Goggins wasn't enough to survive the battles ahead. David quit. David hid. David doubted himself. So I built a version of me who would not break under pressure. A version who could carry fear on his back and still keep moving. A version forged in silence, pain, and repetition. My growth doesn't happen when I have to do something. It happens when I don't have to, but I choose to anyway. That's where identity is shaped. That's where confidence is earned. In the cold mornings, in the lonely runs, in the quiet hours where no one sees the work. I became who I am because I showed up when nobody expected me to. Because I embraced suffering instead of running from it. Because I turned every weakness into a weapon. And even today, while I stay hard on myself, I look in the mirror and know exactly what I sacrificed. I know the pain I endured, the nights I pushed through, the mornings I refused to quit. None of this was luck. None of this was gifted. It was built through suffering, discipline, and a relentless refusal to accept the easy path. That's how you transform. That's how you rise. That's how you become someone the old version of you wouldn't even recognize. The road ahead is long, and it's going to test you in ways you don't even understand yet. Life will not take it easy on you just because you've suffered or because you came from a hard beginning. The world does not care about your wounds. It will search for your weaknesses and hit them again and again until you either break or rise. And that's why you have to get back to work. Not the kind of work people post on social media. Not the kind of work where you talk more than you act. You need to return to that mental lab, that quiet, merciless place inside yourself where real growth happens. Because everything you need to survive this world, every tool, every lesson, every ounce of strength, is in there waiting for you to uncover it. You have to reach a point in your life where nothing can break you anymore, not because the world got softer, but because you finally met every part of your own history. You face the trauma, the shame, the fear. You listen to the pain you've been avoiding for years, and you stop being embarrassed by where you came from. Shame destroys more people than failure ever will. It traps them in their past, freezes them in place. Never let shame define you. Face what you've done. Fix what you can. Learn from every mistake and build something stronger out of it. Everything I am today came from deep study of myself, constantly confronting what I fear, what I avoid, what makes me uncomfortable. And because of that, I know exactly what must be conquered next. I know what demons still breathe in the dark corners of my mind. I know the places where I still have room to grow. No one else can fix it for me. These battles are personal. Life is full of unchosen suffering, pain that appears without permission. The only way to survive it is to choose your own suffering first. Do something hard every day. You don't need to run 200 miles. You don't need to be the strongest in the world. But you must develop a part of yourself that is tough enough to handle devastation when it arrives. Because it will arrive. Trauma doesn't ask for your permission. When life tries to block your path, it can't become a permanent barrier. It must become something you move around, over or through. That ability, breaking down hardship quickly and learning from it, is what separates people who stay stuck from people who rise. Most people only get an autopsy when they're gone. Almost nobody performs a living autopsy on themselves to understand why they're dying while they're alive. I had to do that. I was breathing, walking, talking, but inside, I was dead. Once I figured out why, something inside me was reborn. I want people to learn the same thing. Go into the archives of your life, pull out the painful chapters, read them, study them, and use them as fuel. You have to become better in the mind before anything outside can change. People think they need a race, a goal, a deadline, a challenge to perform. But real mastery comes when there is nothing on the schedule, nothing driving you, and you still show up with everything you have. Because one day life will drop a true challenge at your feet. And if you haven't trained yourself to perform without purpose, you will collapse when the moment matters most. Purpose is a strange thing. We chase it like it's out there somewhere, college, career, accomplishments. But the real purpose is always you. Your growth, your evolution, your potential. If you wake up with no desire to work, it's because you stopped caring enough about yourself. And that is the real problem. I was born David Goggins, but that version of me wasn't strong enough to survive. He was scared, abused, bullied, and when things got tough, he quit. No matter how much I trained, the old version came out and ruined everything. So I built Goggins, brick by brick, mile by mile, suffering by suffering. And in that process, I learned where I truly grow. In silence, in early mornings when I don't have to work, but I choose to anyway. Stay hungry, yes, but stay humble while you're hungry. Pride destroys people. Humility builds warriors. There was a janitor named William Crawford, quiet, unnoticed, pushing a broom to the halls of the Air Force Academy. No one knew he won the Medal of Honor, the highest award for heroism anyone in the military can earn. He saved lives, faced death, and then chose to clean floor for young cadets who didn't even know who he was. That is real greatness. That is real humility. Growth comes from remembering you are no better than anyone else. Discipline, motivation. People talk about them like magic, but without a clear mind, discipline has nowhere to live. Your mind is like a garage. If it's cluttered with stress, problems, noise, chaos, where are you going to put discipline? Where will you store focus? Most people's minds are so overcrowded they can't find anything in there. You have to organize your mind. Clear out the clutter. Learn to put every thought on its shelf. That's why I meditate. 2 hours every night. I empty the garage so when I wake up, everything is where it needs to be. And why is the truth important? Because truth is your starting point. You can't grow from a lie. Toughness isn't found in comfort. It is found in the moments where you are drowning, gasping, overwhelmed, and you face yourself fully. Growth lives in the dark places. Failure, pain, insecurity, doubt. Dig through them long enough, and eventually you find a light that changes everything. People don't grow because they set goals they know they can reach. That's not growth. Growth comes from chasing the goals that terrify you, the ones you're sure will break you. Because the only way to strengthen your mind is to put it under pressure until it adapts. Every morning you ask yourself, did I do enough? And if the answer is no, you go again, until it becomes your new normal. Your brain is the strongest weapon you have. When life hits you with death, depression, heartbreak, and pain, there is nothing you can Google to fix it. You're alone in your mind, and your mind will try to pull you into dark corners unless you learn to control it. If your brain controls you instead of the other way around, you're done. You must tell your mind where you're going. You must lead it. I wasn't smart. I couldn't read well. I struggled to learn. But I trained my brain the same way I trained my body, through repetition and refusal to quit. Can't understand a paragraph? Read it again. Still don't get it? Read it again. Still stuck? Write it out. Your brain eventually adapts because it realizes you're not giving a way out. That mindset changes everything. I built a life with no exit door, no excuses, no backup plan. If I didn't know how to do something, I stayed until I learned it. I wanted respect, not from the world, but from myself. I wanted to win, not by beating someone else, but by finishing something for once. I visualized myself as one of the men who made it through Navy SEAL training even before I earned it. That vision kept me warm in the coldest moments of my life. Confidence wasn't given to me. I built it through suffering, sacrifice, and solitude. No coach, no trainer, no money, just relentless effort. My entire life changed when I realized hardship wasn't happening to me. It was happening for me. Every trauma, every struggle, every painful memory was a training ground. And when I flipped the perspective, the world stopped breaking me and started shaping me. Growth only comes from discomfort. Confidence only comes from surviving your own storms. And your true self, your strongest, most unbreakable self, is born in darkness. I wasn't always this man. I had to fight for him. And you will have to fight for your own transformation too. Keep going. Keep digging. Keep becoming.